these three things, okay? Finance, the Bank of England basically, schooling, or the idea of soft power, British culture, English, okay? And the third thing is the Navy, created really the world's first great world empire. So as you can see, Britain spread all around the world, okay? And so even though the British Empire is no longer around, it's now the American Empire, even though the opium trade has stopped, what's important for us to understand is the game is still being played today, okay? So let me give you an example of this. This is a drug trade in the world, okay? And as you can see, the drug trade, okay, primarily cocaine. We're talking about cocaine. There are other types of drugs as well, but let's focus on cocaine. You can see it's a global network. Just like a lot of cocaine is produced in Colombia and South America, and then it just travels all around the world. It's a very sophisticated system of trade, okay? But what you need to understand is none of this would be possible without the British financial and legal system. Okay, because like, why are people taking such a risk and selling drugs? Because it's so lucrative, it's so profitable. But you can only have this market if it's being protected by a legal and financial system, okay? People.
Here I want to comment something. The system exists and the way it's structured, and I give you my real life example because I've gone through it myself, and I've seen that financial system, actually the way it's set up, is not to protect you, regular people. It's to make possible and to make happen that criminals and people who are selling drugs, do all types of trafficking, all types of things. The system, actually, the way it's set up, so it will not protect the regular people. It will protect and make happen these activities, that criminal activities to happen. Because I'll give you my example. My phones got stolen, and all my information that I had, everybody now tells you, download the app, install on your phone, it's protected, you use Google Authenticator, 2FA systems like this password, that password, just install on your phone. So all your life is in your phone. It's been told by everybody, from every single source of information. It's just saying that upload an app, it's secure, like you want to trade crypto, you want to have banking, you have to have the app on the phone and access on your phone, and your phone is your like ID now, basically. It's like passport, like everything, your whole life is on your iPhone or whatever the device you have. So I had two phones, one for work, one for my personal, and both of them got stolen. I got robbed in a very um, in a very difficult way. Okay, I had my time over there. I thought I'm gonna die, and I was in a hospital, so I got poisoned. It's a different story. So the system actually is not set up to protect you from this. The system set up so these people who get access to your information, they can and they will being able to steal your money, do their transactions, make everything happen, and swipe under the carpet, so under the rug. So the thing is, so in my example, phones got stolen, my whole identity compromised. It's so easy to basically break into your phone. You can't even imagine. The people who knows it, they break into your phone, they get all your passwords, all your emails, the Apple IDs, the photos, the banking information, the crypto wallets, like everything that you can have possibly imagined becomes accessible and available to them. And what they do, like very fast, they get into my banking and they start sending wires, like all over the world. Then they get into your Coinbase account and they start like unstacking, because I had like my stuff staked, and I unstack it, sell it, and then they sold it, and then they send it out everything to different wallets, like small transaction, large transactions, like $10, $10,000, $20, this type of things. And your brokerage account, like if you are trading stocks, etc., like me, my brokerage account was hacked in Schwab, and they got a loan on my against my stocks, and they sent the money, like they added a new account, they changed the email, they changed in passwords, they send in wires, my bank, like everything. And then I go to, like, after I got, I don't know, maybe they thought I was dead, but I survived, and I got realized that I got robbed, because I start calling everybody, like telling, I made a police report, I start calling banks and brokerages, letting them know that I got robbed. And Chase was doing fine. Chase like got me semi-protected. They didn't steal money, but maybe because I had some accounts already like on lock, maybe I felt something. But Coinbase, the crypto that held, I don't know how many billions of dollars they hold in, they do not, like, my email was changed. There is no cool off period. There is no actual verification of the person who is doing it. My account was dormant, so I did not do a lot of trades. I was like basically holding, taking, keeping some cash in case of the dips, etc. So I did not do a lot of transactions. So Coinbase did not trigger any security, did not say, oh, this account is doing something now and it's not usual, so we have to maybe like ask for additional verification. None of this happened. They just like send in the money, and then when I talked to them and when I started investigation and I forced the investigation, they say, well, by the agreement, these transactions are they cannot be reversed, so they gone forever, and you can't. It's like, it's your problem. You got robbed, not us. And I'm talking about, like, what about your security system? What, like, how you protecting the funds? Like, you managing a lot of money on behalf of your customers, on the consumers, clients who actually funding the entire company that worth billions of dollars now. Their security suck. They 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 do not even attempt to prevent anything from happening. They do not even think that, oh, this account all of a sudden woke up in the middle of at the night at 4 a.m. and just sending money, doing a lot of activities over like few minutes. They do not put like security did not trigger anything of that, so to prevent this from happening. Schwab, so they also hack into my Schwab account, and they initiated two large wires to random person. So they added this person to my account and they send the money to them. Uh, like random person, not even my name. And Schwab did not do anything. Like I called them and I reported them and I told them, hey, you guys like allowing this to happen without any additional confirmation. They say they have a voice verification. They didn't do it. They I had my voice passcode. Obviously they didn't do it. They didn't verify any transaction with my voice. They didn't provide any additional like verification process, like, hey, this account wants to wire a large sum of money to unverified account. We don't know this person. This like random person, not on his name. He wants to wire. We not even asking anything. We just like sending the money, because the system, the way it's set up, the way it exists, is to not protect you, but to make this activity happen. So the people who are doing selling drugs, I'm not talking about small people. I'm talking about large people who are like we all know who control all this stuff, and Professor is gonna probably explain it later. I am watching this video for the first time, but the point is the system is set up for criminal activities to happen, to pre- not to prevent fraud, but to make sure it will operate, to make sure that will transaction will happen. The people who needs to receive the money, they will receive the money, and there is nothing you can do about it. If you use this system, if you downloading everything on your phone and you live on your phone, your life is on your phone, you do all this type of trading, etc., etc. There is some companies I don't want to, talk about it because I had crypto on another exchange as well, another wallet. They didn't hack into that because of the level of protection. But I'm not gonna say their name because I don't want to do any promotion. I'm just saying there is some other companies who do their job because they're not public yet, I guess, or they're not too big yet, but maybe they're not too corrupt yet. I have no idea why. But there is somebody who do their job. There is one of the probably largest companies in the world, Coinbase, who like crypto companies. They have such a low standard for security. They don't care because all they have to be part of the system that do the money laundering, that dirty money transfers, that narco traffic money transfers. I believe they are part of this. This is my like opinion, but based on my observation, and this is what professor is going to be talking about. So let's watch.
People only participate in this trade. It's dangerous, but they only participate in this trade if they can be guaranteed that they can make a lot of money, and they can use this money and protect this money, okay? So what protects this money, of course, is the offshore financial centers, okay? So the green are areas in the world in which you can place your money. They won't ask where the money came from. They don't care where the money came from, and they will clean it up for you, okay? Money laundering. They will use their sophisticated legal and financial systems to clean up your money, and then they will help you invest it elsewhere, okay? Does it make sense? So guess what? Look at this, guys. Where are the major global financial offshore centers? Well, they're in the Caribbean, okay? They're in Panama. They are in Northern Europe. They are in the Middle East. They are in Southeast Asia. Hong Kong, Singapore, Japan. Guess what, guys? This used to be the former British Empire. Okay? So the British Empire is still around today. But they transformed from one that is overt and that uses military power.
Well, this is so funny. People say that empires collapse, but they don't really collapse. Like Italian, the Rome Empire, like they say that collapsed and like it's gone. It's not gone. Vatican still controls everything. Entire like all the why is Vatican so rich? Like it has so much power because they control religion. It's become a church of the world, let's say. And now I'm gonna talk about it later. What is happening in the Middle East right now? But imagine how much influence the Vatican has, and how many people are supporting this church. And I would say that this is satanic church. It's not the church of if you're talking about church, it's supposed to like save your soul. You have to do, proper things. You have to protect your followers, etc., etc. But it's never been like that. If you even look through the theology and the church, how the way they actually operate and the way they what they pursue. It's you know the priests them like molesting people, and it's like so openly known in the Vatican, and most of them like not most of them, but a large portion of this priests are perverts, and it's kind of like almost seems like it's an entry ticket to become a priest, etc., etc. Now it's like this Epstein files, etc. We're talking about Roman Empire becomes church to control people, to control the influence, control, have money, etc. But now he's talking about British Empire, and just British Empire is a bank, World Bank. We're talking about like no, it's fallen. No, it's not. It's the whole system, and it like hear me out. Like now we're talking about USA, global dominance, the dollar, etc., etc. If you control financial system of the world, you don't care what currency it's trading, because you have like look at this map. Like look at this map. It shows you that the global bank exists, and it exists in the world globally. It's not even in like USA or China or whatever. Like you look at that map, it's spread out everywhere. Means that they don't care what currency is a dollar, yuan, euro, ruble. Nobody cares, because the money is 100% in the world exist, or like they print more, it doesn't matter. At a certain given time there is 100% of money. They all been basically going through the circles of the global bank, and they've been in the banks, and banks are licensed and they given license but their government, and the government controlled by central bank, and central banks are all conglomerated banks. So it's global bank. They don't care what currency. They don't care what's been happening. Is it dollar, whatever? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So the British Empire is just a bank. USA is not an empire in the what we think it is, because a lot of people saying that USA is a global power, global economy. Yeah. But if you control this global power, global economy, who are you then? Who you are then? Like if you've been controlled, you're not a empire. You're uh, you know colony. You've been colonized, and that's what happened to USA when they came. I don't know if you've seen that. I'm gonna make a video on that. That all U.S. presidents are related and came from one ancestor, was a king of England, uh, that ruled back in like 12th century or something like that. So the USA is a colony of Britain. Yeah, powerful economically and military powerful, but it's not an empire. So we still have two empires: Roman Empire and British Empire. Let's continue.
Power in order to control the world to one that is covert, that is secret, and that uses financial and legal means in order to control the world. Okay? And it's still the game that we play today. Now, there's a question that someone asked me. Okay, it's a very good question. The question is this: if offshore financial centers like Hong Kong and Dubai are so profitable, and it's such easy money, why doesn't everyone do it, right? It's a good question, okay? And the logic is very simple.
It's not a good question.
We know that gambling, prostitution.
It's not a good question. Like, why? Because you're not allowed, Professor. You're not allowed. Like, yeah, I want to be a bank. Who's gonna give me? I have to know the people. I have to get be vetted. I have to get the license. Go get a bank. Go buy a bank. Have you heard what happened to Ye? You know, Kanye? He wanted to have his own bank because his money was like all frozen up and etc. etc. Like he has to pay so much money to bank and he couldn't. What about Elon Musk? Like the richest person ever lived. He has so much money, but unfortunately he's not part of this the powerful system. So he's more like a manager, like to begin with. He doesn't have a power, real power, real power. He have assets that he can't really sell because if he's gonna sell, they all just gonna drop, etc. He's rich, but he's not powerful. He's not allowed to have a bank. Professor.
Prostitution, human trafficking, slavery, all profitable. Why does everyone do it? Because it's immoral, okay?
It's not about that.
As a
You don't know
society,
them.
you need morality in to create energy, openness, and cohesion, right? People want to feel as though they're part of something good, that we're striving for a higher cause. And if you're all about slavery or prostitution or gambling or money laundering, people won't feel good about themselves. In fact, their souls will become corrupted, okay? So the classic example is like Hong Kong, right? Have you guys been to Hong Kong? One of the wealthiest cities in the world, right? Lots and lots of skyscrapers. But guess what? The people there are disgusting.
Yeah.
They're depraved, they're unethical, they're disgusting.
I've
There's
been
absolutely
there.
no culture to the place. There's no morality to the place. It's actually disgusting, okay? I don't want to live there.
I don't wanna. I've been there.
If you live there,
don't like
guess
it.
what? Your soul is going to become corrupted. So this is almost, you would say this is a demonic system. This system is not only evil, but it facilitates evil. It is the work of Satan. Okay? But unfortunately, this is a system that we live in today. So even though everyone will say this system is demonic, it's really underpins the world today. Because if you think about it, okay, all this corrupt money from China, India, Malaysia, they go to these places, but then this money then goes where? It goes over to Australia to invest in real estate. Okay? Do you guys know what the biggest industry in Australia is? It's banking. Okay? Banking.
No surprise.
Which means that
No surprise.
Australia also engages in money laundering, but they clean it up so people aren't aware of this. You understand?
And who is Australia? Colony of Great Britain, right?
The same thing happens in Canada as well. Canada, United States as well. So this entire world, it's based on stealing from the third world and transferring this money to the first world. That's all it is, okay? It's not complicated. But this has led to a huge problem. The problem is what we call over-financialization. But over-financialization, it's a very simple concept where there's too much money, so people become corrupt, lazy, arrogant, and insular. And
So when the first presidency of Trump was like economic growth, people didn't trust financial markets. It was like record cash holders in USA, in the world. Nobody wants to invest, and then Trump becomes president, and the economy grows, and the stock market starts rallying, etc., etc. So like the crypto markets, stock market, people start trusting, like becoming greedy, to be honest with you. They start putting this money in the stock market, into cryptos, etc., etc., and they become rich. They get like so much profit. A lot of people who like especially started to trade, etc., etc., they make good amount of money. So now you have a problem in economy. Nobody wants to work because they have money. Like, why would I have to go and work for $15 an hour if I just go and trade and make $50 an hour, $100 an hour, whatever. Or I just like make $10,000, put it on a crypto like meme cryptos, and then it's like exploding overnight. Now I have like $200,000, and I go buy Lamborghini, and like who's gonna work? So yeah, over financialized system that creates a problem to elites when they print so much money, and then all of a sudden this money being distributed among people, but they need you to work because you are the labor, you are the slave, modern, um, modern type of slave. So how they gonna push you back to work? So they're gonna put the Biden in the presidency, and Biden's gonna destroy the economy, set everything, you know, well, not on fire, but yeah, it was a couple of fires, as like all the pandemics, all this type of things, whatever. Post-pandemic, I kind of like middle class being destroyed, like physical businesses being destroyed, small businesses been destroyed. But like funny part, you can't. It's not safe for you to go to restaurant and eat, and then all of a sudden it's okay to protest. All this bullshit. So they destroy the middle class. They push people back to work, so they can then go back for the second presidency of Donald Trump, and then they can do and implement what they actually planning to do. So like, hear me out. Before the Trump, it was so much money that people had stored in their cash reserves. Nobody was investing in stock market. Nobody was investing into, this Ponzi schemes. So they had to take this money and put it in the market. So they put the Trump into place. Trump start doing what he's supposed to be doing. He was like talking to his his voters, whoever put him in the market, as conservative people who didn't trust it before, and they thought Trump is the guy. So they put this money and they dump it in the stock market. Now this has becomes a part of the financial system. Then they add more and more, and it's like, FOMO started, and then it crashes. Remember, it crashed big time. Well, if you still had some money, you still could have made it. But then they put Biden, then the economy overinflation, like your dollars become like half of what it's used to worth, etc., etc. So now you're like losing on the money. Now before you had money, now you don't have money, or you have money on paper, but you can't really, so you have to work. And now they're doing all this war type of situation, so they basically, there is no free people, because if you don't have freedom, and remember this, they've been talking about own nothing, be happy. This didn't fly for the people, because people digest like, that's the dumbest bullshit I've ever heard. It's like, oh, nothing, be happy. It's like, how dumb you think people are. Like, do you really think that people's that dumb because they think they dumb? Because the dumb people, they can't comprehend that other people have brains. They just can't comprehend it. So they speaking to them like a cattle, like a chicken. I'm just gonna tell them like, oh, nothing. Just be worry free. Just go work every day, do your stuff, rent, pay monthly subscription. Just making sure you're on the needle, you're on this like all the time needle, just to pay, and for real, all nothing. So all these large conglomerates, corporations, they can buy out entire assets economy, so they can collapse the economy. For them it doesn't matter, because there's nowhere you can go. You have to go pay money for the rent, pay money for to access your car. Now your car doesn't work, then you have to buy food, and food belongs to them. So this is all grand scheme that's been happening. And remember I said about Rome that it's become church, and it's more satanic church. It's the first time I'm seeing this video, but this church is not looking after you. This church is it's like a sect. It's a huge sect with a huge influence, but is they're not using their powers to do anything for you. They use it. You just like a cell in a battery. You just need it only for them to exist. So your energy, your focus, your will is being distracted so you can fuel their existence.
And that's what's happening in Canada, in the United States, in Britain, in Australia. Okay? And so, really, an empire must collapse at some point. So, the British, the Western world, they are a victim of their own success. Okay? So, they stole all this money from the rest of the world, but this money has made their people lazy, corrupt, and arrogant. And that's why we're seeing so much conflict right now in the Western world, because this money has created a lot of inequality in the world.
Always been inequality.
Right?
Always
where
been one king and
of all the money,
millions of
99%
peasants.
have very little to get by on. But you also have a lot of corruption, where the political system no longer serves the interests of the people. They only serve the interests of the rich, okay? And then you will also have immorality, where nowadays people already concerned about making money. They don't want to contribute to the community, okay? So yes, we can say that the Western world, it's evil because they've stolen all this money. But really what's happened is that they've corrupted and destroyed themselves because this model has been too successful for them, okay? And that's why we're seeing so much chaos in the world today. So we are really at a game reset, or a game's end, and a new game is about to emerge because this game right now is not sustainable. Okay? All right. Any questions?
No, so basically, I would disagree with Professor over here. It's not about that their game is not sustainable. It's just like there is evolution to every game. There is levels for every game. And this game that he's talking about, that I've been talking about, that I see in myself, being also in business, also in having my own history, etc., etc. There is evolution. So in order for you to make a step 100, you have to make a step 2 and step 50 and a step 99. So if you have a plan, and like I said, like I am saying and he's saying, he just not I don't know, maybe he's not saying it out loud, but it seems like maybe he doesn't really comprehend this, that the banking global bank exists. Nobody, it's not even a secret that it's global bank. So for the global bank, the currency is irrelevant. Are we gonna be trading with the US dollar, so with the Chinese yuan or Japanese, whatever the money I forgot they have, or like Russian ruble or euro? Nobody's gonna trade for euro, but nobody cares, because if you global bank, you're gonna make money, make transaction happen. Your money is not gonna go anywhere. So for them, money doesn't matter. The people doesn't matter. Corruption. They have Epstein. He's not the only one. You think that Epstein was the only one? Well, think again. How many Epsteins and how many islands and how many ranches are over there to control the global, um, to enforce their ideas, to control the people who like just have to do their part to participate, and they play their role in this grand theater. So for them, money, it doesn't matter. Like they have the money, whatever the money, they can print the money, they can give it to whoever need it, They have their real estate, food, like everything is taken care of. So if everything taken care of, you want to have some purpose why you wake up in the morning and why you pursue your life. What are you doing that for? So if you imagine if you are a church, and it's I would doubt who's have more power, the church or the bank. I would say probably the church have more power. I would say so, because the bank is just operational, transactional mechanism for church to, to do their business. So I would say the church is primarily, and they have ideology, and they have, once again, churches all over the world. So if they have ideology, they have a purpose, and they have like a direction where to want them, where they wanted to go. So now we just like unfolding everything, like this World War One, two, three, and now we in the early stages of World War Three, and they've been talking about World War Three, is not because the system collapses. The system can continue to exist, no problem. You just like continue to do what you've been doing. Print money, burn it through the crisis, burn it through local wars, etc. No, it's just to destroy uh, the comfort of people who actually right now thinking about becoming like a free people, because a lot of people they think they want to actually fuck the government. We don't want to talk. We don't want to be controlled, etc., etc. But if you don't have money, if you don't have what to eat, if you don't have resources, if you don't have freedom, then you have to be controlled. You have to be doing what they telling you to do. So if they have ideology, and this ideology is a totally different subject, what they want to do and why they fight in Islam, why they want Islam to fail. It seems like same thing with happened in Middle Age, 14th century, 16th century, and before that, why they send all this troops from Europe to Africa and etc. etc. And they keep on fighting for this Jerusalem and all these saint places, is because they pursue the objective higher that their needs, and like everybody in the world, they see as a cattle that needs to be guided towards their goal. It's not about the system has to be resetted, we have to do this and this and that. They don't have to do anything. The system doesn't have to be resetted. The system fine. There is nothing wrong with the way it operates. It operates fine. It's been operated like this for 100 years, and it could operate for as long as you want. But this is not what they want. They want to build a fundamentals to make something happen. And what something happen? Well, I have an idea. I don't have the knowledge, but I have an idea. I have a guess. Let's hear.
Yeah.
So if the success of Western world leads to the corruption and the fall of Western world, can we generalize that after success people will fall? Then what's the meaning of success?
Okay, that's a great question, okay? So we know that if you become successful, you will not be happy. Why do people go and succeed? And, okay, this is a really hard question to answer, okay? So let me explain different layers, okay? The first layer is this. Why people know that wealth doesn't lead to happiness, right? What leads to happiness is family, love,
True.
community,
True.
meaning,
True.
purpose,
True.
generosity, okay?
True.
That's what leads to happiness. The happiest people in the world tend to be religious, they tend to have families, and they tend to be very kind-hearted people. So why do you have rich people? Because the game is structured so that everyone is forced to play. Okay?
Exactly.
Meaning
you need
that-
to take your part.
We only care about people like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg. We worship the rich, okay? And we hate the poor. So if you're homeless, we think it's because you deserve it, because you're lazy. It's because you refuse to work, okay? So the game is set up so
Partially
that
true,
we're
though.
focused on making
Partially
money.
true.
Then the question then is, why do we have this stupid game? And the answer, unfortunately, is that what we figured out is that this game, in the short term, not in the long term, okay? We're talking like decades, not centuries. In the short term, it's what makes your people the most energetic, open, cohesive, and the most likely to win against other nation states. Okay, does that make sense? So in the long term, you get destroyed. Your people are destroyed. You're corrupted by this game. But in the short term, it allows you to defeat other players. Okay, that's how the British were able to create the empire, because they defeated the French, then they defeat the Germans, then they defeat the Russians. Okay, and that forces the other players to play this game as well, because in the short term, this game,
Okay, here he just wants to tell you that you've been raised as a cattle, like a chicken on a farm. That's what he's basically telling you. It's not, if you control all the money will go through you anyways. It doesn't matter if I will, let you eat. For now, you have to be fed, because if you die, nobody, the system, the whole world will not be operational. So you have to be fed. So are we creating a game when you can make some money and you can eat, so you can get fat. So when you get fat, when you get enough fat, what's gonna happen with the chicken or the cow or the pig? When they get enough fat, it has to be consumed. And that's no difference. You will get enough fat if you're energetic enough. You just like, I'm gonna work hard, I'm gonna make it happen, I'm gonna buy myself a house, I'm gonna buy myself a Mercedes, I'm gonna have so much money, I'm gonna have so much chicks, all this stuff that you care about. Exactly, like if you ever raise chickens, you will see how ignorant they creatures. They just like animals, but they don't care nothing but like right now. They see the food and they just go for the food, and if the food means it's there, like it's a trap, or just like they're gonna be caught and killed, they're just gonna go for food. So they don't think about it like at all. So similar to people, they just like, okay, I don't care if I die, I'm just gonna, like the 50 Cent, whatever he said, get rich or die trying. So basically this is same ideology. Money is everything. Participate. There is chance for you to succeed, a higher chance. Now it's the time. Just go for it. It's a race, but the first one wins, etc., etc. So you have to believe that this is all it is, and you have to get it. And if you don't get it, you're a loser. So this is the system for you to play. And now you think about it, like if the system needs to be reset. No, it's not. It's just like it's time for you to be consumed. That's what it is.
this game gives you huge advantages. Okay? So think of, it's a zero-sum game. So think of a Olympic game where, okay, everyone's going and competing in the 100-meter sprint. And we know you shouldn't do drugs because drugs will destroy your body, right? And you could have a heart attack when you're 40. But they're like, no, I really want to win this game. So one guy uses a drug and he wins. And the other players know about this, and now they're forced to also use the same tactic Okay, do you understand? So it's a really unfortunate system
Bad analogy.
in that
That's not a good analogy.
this system can only lead to the unhappiness,
Yeah.
corruption, and
doesn't matter.
immorality of people. But people are too concerned about short-term rewards. Okay, if you don't play this game, then you get eliminated. Okay.
Exactly. Well, that's what I've been
Serve
talking
your
about.
town. Support your church.
That's what I've been talking about. Let me do this. It doesn't matter. That's what I've been talking about. The system exists to attract as many players as possible. When they all in the system, they're all in the game, they are doomed to be consumed. They are gonna die in a war. They're gonna die from hunger. They're gonna die killing each other. They're gonna die pursuing like they to get more meat to eat, but instead they're gonna die. It doesn't matter. It's time to be consumed, and that's all there is. Why would anybody want to destroy the system? Why? Like, especially if you own the system. Like, if you global bank, if you global church, you everything is good, everything is you've been ruling for centuries, you've been controlling money for centuries. Now you want to destroy the entire system. Why? Because there is time for your ideology to come into place. I don't know, I'm just take this away. Basically saying, if you are pursuing this church, what really is happening in the world right now, why they are fighting against Islam, they are demonizing Islam, they talking about this needs to be protected, why it's all happening? Because they believe, and it's been told, somebody even told that. I'm gonna look for that video, I'm gonna talk about it. We'll talk about next time. If you guys interested in this subject, in this to discuss this more openly, I would highly recommend you to subscribe to my channel. I just created. This is gonna be my first video. If I screw up something, that's okay. I don't mind. If I look funny or if I look stupid to you, it doesn't matter. It's okay. But if you think that I have something to say and you want to be open for a discussion, just subscribe to my channel, and I'll try to get as much information as possible, and I try to share as much my thoughts as possible. And for this, it is ciao.